founding blocks of BJJ are built on a smaller person being able to subdue a bigger opponent. But how can this happen without the knowledge of takedowns? Although takedowns are not a forte in BJJ, they are still a staple for every elite BJJ practitioner. Not all takedowns are the same. Some are easy and straightforward. Others are technical and sophisticated.
We're in on a double
very quickly.
But there are some that are dangerous. Too dangerous that they are banned from competition. And shut out from the eyes of spectators, but not yours. This is the ugly, the good, and the spectacular of takedowns. Enjoy. This is one of the first takedowns that is taught in BJJ because it is a staple where most sweeps, which we will also be discussing later, end up in single leg positions. That is why it is important to be able to finish a single leg takedown successfully, especially in nogi. Changing levels and hooking your left arm to the right knee of your opponent as you turn to your left is the first step. This is followed by picking your opponent's leg as your head drives into his chest. Then, you can use different finishes to take your opponent to the ground. Here is the best single leg takedown you can do in BJJ. Just like the single leg, the double leg takedown is a universal type of takedown in the ground game world and is used with and without the gi. But one aspect makes it more sophisticated than the singles. It is done with a deeper penetration stance. When getting the double leg takedown, it is important to use your arms to secure an inside position during entry. To get the most out of your takedown, the shot has to be well timed and fast to allow less sprawling and little to no defense from your opponent. This is how double leg takedowns are done.
Step in, my knee's going to go to the ground to take Michael down. Landing in the side control position.
This is one of the most dangerous takedowns I will be showing you. It is also a signature takedown of 7-time nogi champion, Roberto Cyborg Abreu.
Yeah, the whip on that. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
And he even went as far as renaming it Cyplex in relation to his nickname, Cyborg. There's a variety of suplexes used not only in BJJ, but also in professional wrestling like WWE. So, let's look at how the suplex takedown is done. Basically, suplexing is done by locking your arms around your opponent and slamming them against their back, neck, or upper shoulders. This is how Cyborg secures and transitions into submissions using this takedown.
Control.
This takedown is also known as Daishi Arai. It is one of the takedowns where you don't have to be bothered by a counter to your takedown. The foot sweep can be done in both gi and no-gi. But it is easier to initiate in gi because of the variety of position that it could be executed from, such as the inside tie.
His head's strong here, all right? I'm on top of his head. It's a lot harder on him. We'll start coming up, and then I can start going.
And collar tie.
But instead of going for the shot, I'm gonna stay up, keep my head close, disbalance my partner, also Tagari, and from there either go for the gift wrap or just finish off here.
Unlike most takedowns, less energy is required to perform this takedown, as what is needed is to have a firm grip on your opponent. Pull your opponent as you take a step in a direction, then sweep the leg of your opponent once they adjust their weight to the leg closest to you. The founder of Fight to Win, Seth Daniels, shows in a detailed way how it's done in BJJ without grips.
Get my levels here.
This is a judo technique that is also called the shoulder throw. To get this takedown done, first you will need to have a collar or a sleeve grip on your opponent. This is followed by creating a good entry to be able to off-balance them. Then, to finish the takedown, lift your opponent by bending on your knees. Although this submission can leave you vulnerable to counters, there is a way you can do it without giving your back.
Shoot it into the armpit and drag it down. Are gonna go into mat.
Not only is this takedown popular in judo, it is also used in BJJ. A notable feature of this takedown is that, unlike other sweeps, this takedown is easier to do. This is because it uses both the hips and legs as well. It all starts with the collar grip, gi, and a whizzer nogi. Here is a 3-step procedure to do the uchimata correctly. The next one is a beginner-friendly takedown, as it is one of the first takedowns taught in BJJ. Primarily, it is done by pummeling, and then you get the underhooks. Then you buckle their knee or do a leg trip as you push your head towards your opponent's chest. This will make the opponent fall to their back or side. See if you can replicate it on the mat.
Establishes it, so once he's here, he establishes his spots.
The most dangerous takedown banned from BJJ competitions is kani basami. Here is the reason. You see, if it is not properly done, or if the opponent is not prepared for it, it could result in severe injury to the ankle and knee. The kani basami is done by swiftly grabbing a hold of your opponent and then expertly scissoring both of your opponent's leg from the rear and front with your leg. Kani basami can be done as a counter for single leg takedowns. It is also done by using Russian ties or arm drags to force your opponent to turn sideways so you can take advantage of that position. Although it is banned, this is a safe way to do it.
And then we place our knee here behind our partner's knee. When we land in a position where we have both legs on the inside, rotate our hips so that our partner's kneecap faces our belt, cross the ankles, bring the foot to the top side, and we have a very powerful finish.
This takedown is done in gi and no-gi, and it is quick and requires little effort finish. To get the maximum result, athlete creates a feint for the opponent to bite on. This is where they pull their opponent on one side, drop their level, and go for the ankle pin. Make sure to stay tight. In gi, the collar grip is utilized to get the takedown, but in no-gi, this is how it's done.
Grab the ankles on a quarter position. Pull the ankle. Now you've got to be careful wrestling when you leave it. In jiu-jitsu, you've got to be careful because what happens is this crunch and you get armbar. Okay?
Although the role of takedowns in BJJ is underutilized, where they function more is that they pave the way for submission and are an extra tool to make a BJJ fighter a complete all-around fighter who can fight both in stand-up and in guard. Which of these takedowns is underrated and which is your go-to?